Alright, so the Whirligig Design Challenge. I want to start with a disclaimer. I apologize, I'm washing clothes and trying to do some at-home things, but I will try to speak up so that you all can hear me. Here are my findings, my graph, my little table here. I have some things written that I'm going to go through about my, my research and project, my design. This is my official one. This is the only cardstock I could find around the house that I already had. I have a lot of like, little t-shirt knickknacks and materials. And so this I could find readily that I had gotten recently from a parking pass. And I was like, cardstock, let me try it, because I was trying it with regular paper. And so yeah, this actually worked really good. This is my official one. And as you see here, I have a bobby pin instead of a paper clip, and I'll explain that. So let me get into some of my findings. So, to start with just my graph itself, or my table, it's not really much of a graph, my table. I have 4 sections. I have whirligigs, my trials, my conclusions from each gig, each trial that I did with it, and then how many spins it did. So you probably can't really tell too much about what's going on. I just wanted to give you a little peep. And so within my conclusions is where you'll find like my discoveries and my hypotheses as well. I didn't really write those out specifically, it's just how my brain works. But I'll go through each of the questions and explain those. So I did three whirligigs, and I did 2 trials with the first 2, and I did a third one with my with my final one, because I just wanted to make sure that it was what I wanted it to be. So let's see, where are we going to start? So the important variables. So I noticed, so before I even began the challenge, and I was looking at the materials suggested and like researching how to create one, the best way to create one. Things that came to mind was the material, the paper material, obviously. The length of the paper, because when it comes to how long it'll take it to fall, how many spins it does, I was thinking, if I did a shorter one in all, would that be better? Or if I did a longer one, would that be better? Would it catch more wind? So, and then finally, the material to hold the end together. So that's where I'm going to get into I use the bobby pin instead of a paper clip. So, let's see. So, with my first whirligig, so I did 2 trials, like I said. After I let the first one spin, I used regular paper, and I used a paper clip. And my conclusion was, like, would it go too fast? And without any spins, because just first trial. And it was confirmed, it did go too fast. The very first one, I got 0 spins. The second time I did it, I got 4 spins. It just kind of dropped. The second whirligig I did, I'd made it shorter, like I was talking about the length of the paper. But I said I could probably still use regular paper. I've seen a lot with regular paper, so I wanted to give that a try still. So I made it shorter, and I thought, would it be slower to fall? And I said it wasn't really true. It fell about the same. It did have more spins though, way more spins. The first trial on my second whirligig, it had 10 spins. And then the second time on my second whirligig, it had 13 spins. So I was like, that's kind of close. I don't know if that's much of a difference. And then I said, okay, well, let me try the cardstock, because I think that'll give it, it'll make it really sturdy and it'll catch wind better. And so I said, with the better paper, the cardstock paper, cereal paper, in a regular end, would it do what I want it to do? A lot of spins and fall slower. And I got 30 spins. So that's almost double what my second one was. And this is the third one. So this was just, I went back to my original shape, because I said the shorter didn't really work. So I had tried it initially with a paper clip. And I said that was really good, but let me just try a different thing, because I don't know why, I just assumed that if I could hold the end together better, hold the flaps at the bottom better, that it would give me more spins, because it's all working up here instead of having these a little more open and catching that wind. I felt like it was conflicting. So I tried a bobby pin instead to hold the bottom piece together. And it held way better. It got me about 40 spins. And then I did it for the third time, and I realized I like the bobby pin, I like the paper, I like the size of it and everything. And in my end, and I have a video I'm going to insert at the end, that it did about 50 spins. I got 48 exactly. I had to slow down my video. It was kind of hard to keep counting, but I think I got about 50 spins. So I was like, that's really good. And all of these were done off of the second floor of my staircase in UP apartments. So I went to the second floor. So it's a standard second floor, like most buildings, apartments. And so I said, that's really good. So if I were to do it on the third floor, it'd be really fun for children, you know, whatever they might have. So I went through my hypotheses, like each trial, what I thought would happen. So the first thing I checked, the variable that I changed a lot of variables, like I said. In my various trials, I questioned the paper material, the length of the paper, and the end paper material, the bobby pin versus the paper clip. And the first one I checked, the first thing that I went after based on my trials was the length of the paper. So when I went shorter, there was a difference, but I felt like it could be better. I think it glitched. I felt like it could be better. The second one, the second thing I checked was the paper material, which was the cardstock then. And the last thing that I checked was the end, which I like the bobby pin the best. Now I'm sure that children could find, if they're boys, they may not really use bobby pins. There could be some sort of just little, like another sort of clip or a larger paper clip possibly that could be utilized in this design, in this material, if the cereal company were to go on with it. So my conclusion was that I didn't really keep anything the same. Throughout my trials, I did keep the things the same. I kept the same paper first few times. I kept the paper clip the whole. I kept the paper clip the whole time until the third one to the second trial when I did my cardstock. And my conclusion was, I like this one. I like the longer length paper. I feel like it catches more wind. I feel like it doesn't really matter, but this was the best, so I would just stick with it. I would use the cardstock, the cereal paper, whatever they provide. It doesn't have to be something that's inside the box. They could have like a portion of the box, you could cut it out, and then maybe recommend a large paper clip or a bobby pin.